Hello, residents of MeepleTown. My name is Dean. We got Jon here.
Jon, yep.
You're
Jon.
not going to say it?
I wasn't expecting
He
that.
forgot his name today.
First of all, this is what we do during podcasts.
It's not a
we don't
podcast.
do this. I know, that's what I'm saying. We don't go, this is Dean and Johnny whatever.
Do I need to restart this? Hey, everyone. This is MeepleTown.
MeepleTown top
Steph.
5. Oh, yeah. There you go.
We
Steph
brought in a
knows that.
special guest who is like listening to her parents bicker right now because...
Top 5. It's so high, it's in the sky.
Okay, you know me, you know Jon, and if
Yeah.
you're listening to us, you know who Steph is too. Steph Hodge from Board Game Geek and
Yay.
from All the Meeples of the Rainbow.
Yeah.
Steph, tell people about who you are, what you do. I just said that, but tell us more about who you,
You know,
are.
you probably know me from taking lots of pictures and playing all the games. Like, that's
Yes.
how I'm known. I play all the games. That's what I do. I
Before-
aim to play like 500 new games every year. Like, that's a lot, right? So it's like,
All the games and take amazing pictures. You're right. You're right.
yeah.
You
So
have-
Instagram, Pumpkin312.
There you go.
that's right.
You know, it's ridiculous. Well, before we start this, I just said she plays a ridiculous amount of games. When I see how many games she's played, I'm like, oh my gosh. Think about that. 500 new games. I mean, that's more than one a day. That's almost 2 new games a day. How?
It is nuts.
It's
And
crazy.
the crazy thing is that we have asked her to come on to do a top 5 of a specific year, which is that's not as difficult for the average person like us. But Steph, who probably played about 1,000 games that year,
I had 4 pages to go through
Yeah,
that
was
I
it?
owned, of games I owned.
Of you that you own? Oh my gosh.
I'm like, I'll narrow it down, right? No, okay. No, it might have been played. I don't know. I did a quick search, but it was 4 pages that I had to go through. So
I will say there's several games this year that I'm like really sad I haven't played
Me too.
that I
Yeah.
know would make my list that I just haven't played. But I mean, you never have to deal with that, right?
I play them all.
You play.
Does it-
The solution to this is just play all the games, then you don't have to worry about that.
Does it make it difficult though, Steph, because you play so many games to remember, okay, what did I like about this game? Or do you have a pretty
No, I remember everything.
good? I struggle with that. That's crazy. That's
I
awesome.
mean, I remember, I don't necessarily remember all the rules, but I remember my feeling and how it went and the game mechanisms and basically,
That's awesome.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a strength I have, I guess, because I'm passionate. I don't know. I just really
You're
love
so
it.
passionate. Yeah.
I have to
don't
go back
know.
and watch some videos to kind of like refresh my memory and say, oh, how did this game play? I know that I loved it,
Yeah.
but I don't know how it played.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm starting this off before we get into the list. Was this a good year? Was 2017 a good year? This is what we're looking at, 2017 top 5.
Eh,
Okay.
I think it was a good
yeah.
it was a good year, but when I looked at 2016 that we'll do next, I was like, holy smokes. That's
Yeah, 2016
year.
was the year.
yeah.
Yeah.
And 2018 was really good too. I think 2017 sandwiched
kinda
between two
skipped.
amazing years. Yeah. Yeah.
This is good though. There's some good games here.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
The number 1 ranked game on Board Game Geek came out in 2017. So it at least
is
has
true.
that going for it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's a big deal.
Will it make our list? I don't
And
know.
let me just tell you one thing. Every year I put out a top games I learned. So I usually do top 25 games I learned in 2020, for example. And so everybody likes to do 2020 games, but it's not always the case where I get to play 2020 games in 2020. This is why I do the top 25 games I learned, because I learned so many and they might have come out in like 1986. Who knows? Maybe
Yeah,
it's an amazing
right.
game. Like, it shouldn't
good.
matter. But that's why I do all the games. I review all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know,
And you
it's
do.
fun.
You review
You two
all
review
the
all the
games.
games.
But it's okay. I'm going to make this last plug for Steph, but on Board Game Geek, I've been keeping up with your blog for years and years, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of notifications I get on BGG for All the Meeples of the Rainbow, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But you cover so many games and do it so well, so definitely check out.
Yeah, right now I'm posting 3 times a week, which is a lot.
Yeah.
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 And I'm still filling it every day.
And posting your monthly like rundown, which is
That's what everybody loves the best, I think.
yeah, it's
So
helpful.
I do like little blurbs, like 2 sentences, 3 sentences for each game that I learned. And so people could be like, it's like worst to best. So you can
Yeah.
just run down this sad cloud, another sad cloud. I'm pretty harsh sometimes.
You're honest. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right, we're ready to jump into this. John's going to start us off, and
Let's do it.
then Steph, and then me. And Steph, this is gonna be a complete surprise to you because you've not seen our
No
list
idea.
at all.
No, I did send them my list, so they know mine.
Yeah, we know what's going on. So, all right, John.
So number 5.
John's number 5.
Number 5. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven and hell's door.
Literally just
Heaven
put it
and
on his
hell.
list so that you could sing that song. Pretty sure.
I was like, where is he going with that? Oh, okay.
Heaven and hell is. I love a good rondelle. I'm a big rondelle fan, and it's got an awesome rondelle. I love the tiles and the agonizing decisions. Do I put it on the sunny side or the shady side? And oh, look at that, man. And then I love the way it scores with the little brewmaster guy, and you kind of do that little thing at the end. I know some people probably hate that. I love it.
It's a nice tug and war. It's like it's a push and pull kind of mechanic where you like, I want to do everything and you can't. No, I think that's a great choice.
Yeah, I love that. I love this game. I love the expansion. I can't remember what the name of it is that you have.
I haven't yet played that.
Oh, it's so it cranks it up a notch. I promise you.
Oh, nice.
You will like it. So that's it. Number 5, Heaven and Hell. Love that game.
I'm with you. The art is beautiful on this game. Everything is really beautiful about this game. I will say this.
And you like the theme. You always like it.
Yeah. This is
theme.
like that brewing game is. I don't know what it is, but I just love it.
I think you should have been born a monk in like 15 or 1600s.
It might be the case.
You
Okay,
kinda look like a monk.
but I will say this: you can play this game and play it for about an hour and a half and score 0 points.
Oh,
it is
dear.
a brutal game. Steph's like, what are you talking about? I never score 0
I never scored 0.
It could happen. You could score not a lot of points in this game and get really frustrated.
The first time I played this, I scored like 6 points or something just abysmal.
Oh gosh.
It was just terrible.
It was bad.
That's never happened
It made me
since.
very happy. But yeah, I love this game too. Not top 5 material for me,
Well,
but it's up
one
there.
day we'll talk about other rondelles because I have a lot of good suggestions for you.
We
Good.
should do the
Excellent.
top.
You
top
probably haven't
Rondell
played them.
games.
Right. Dean, if he ever has another kid and it's a girl, he's going to name her Rondell. That's what he told me.
Rondell. Yes.
I love it. I love it.
All right. That is not true, actually. I waited till we took a drink before I said that.
Rondell.
All right. Steph's number 5.
Dinosaur Island.
Dinosaur
I mean,
Island.
who doesn't love building a Jurassic Park type little like park with the dinosaurs? I googly-eyed all my dinosaurs, you know.
Did you?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It is.
It's pretty fantastic looking.
Can I? We're gonna do a 6. Can I say if it's on? It's really high for me, but not in my top 5. I'd say. that.
Okay. So I won't talk
Really
about it
enjoy-
too much,
This is
but
a
there's
Steph
a lot of
picture.
wonderful
That's good.
things going on here. So.
I've got the picture of the googly eyes with the lights in the background.
Oh, yes.
That's a good picture.
Dean likes it just because of those dice, like those chunky
Uh-huh.
Oh my
dice
gosh,
that are
I
amazing.
love
I
those.
love those.
You know what? Dinosaur Island actually made my top 10 favorite dice in dice games.
I'd totally get that. Those
Yeah.
that would be
I love
really
those
high
dice.
for me. Yeah.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
pick so Dinosaur Island is lots of cool choices, and you only have so many workers and so much money. You always need more money, and you just try and make the best dinosaur park. It's so good.
So good. Yep. Great.
I
choice.
like each phase of the game feels like it's a different mechanism, right? You have the dice
Exactly.
drafting, and then you have the 2 different worker placement phases. I think that's really cool. I love this game a lot.
And the art is awesome. It looks.
It's
I love
amazing.
sitting on the table. It's like this neon bright. It's just so cool.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Okay. I also like Duelosaur, and I know
love
John doesn't love it.
Duelosaur.
Okay.
Yes.
You like it as well.
Very, very good.
I would rather play that as a 2-player game on an occasion, but it's just a dumbed down version. Maybe not dumbed down. Is that hard?
There's a little bit different mechanics going on, but
Yeah.
but I like it. Both are on my shelf.
So what's interesting is now that we have 2 really good games, now we're going to get to hear Dean's number 5.
Oh, great. Yeah.
You guys are gonna hate my whole list. All right,
Probably.
That's not true, actually.
number 5 from me is a game from. Do you want to hear all the background stuff?
You could.
You don't
It
care.
was a Kiesling Schmidt game. I didn't say that for mine. But
No, I'll have all that information on there anyway.
yeah,
but
that's right.
okay, my number 5 is Gentes, which is
Okay.
also interesting mechanism of it's like action selection, almost like a kind of action or worker displacement, sort of, where you take the action piece that's on the board and then put it on your board, and it counts as time, and you only have a certain amount of time each round to be able to do the things that you want to do. There's set collection, there's area control, there's lots of different things going on in this one too, but that base mechanism of the time, I love that a lot. I think that's really cool.
You pay
Yeah.
time and money. That's the big things in that game.
I love how like your workers like get advanced, but they can't go past each other, so you have to manage
that's cool.
That's my cool feature of that game that I really like.
You do have the race to the more points too, which I like. I know you don't love race.
I'm not big on race.
I know
but
you're not,
I do like Gentes, so
yeah, it's a good game. That was high up there for me as well.
I'm also really shallow when I have the deluxeified version of this. So having those amazing components is always a big plus.
I really like the art in this game, by the way. I like the way the cards. I like the art on the cards. I think it's neat. So.
Yep.
All right, that's a good choice, Dean. Actually, I have to say,
sweet.
All right,
job. Good job.
We'll let it slide.
Good job, buddy.
All right, let's hear your terrible number 5.
Oh, I already did my number 5.
4.
Let's go for 4.
Counting backwards is really difficult.
Now, my number 4 is a game that you said you didn't like but you've only played it one time, and that's Pulsar 2849.
Oh,
I love dice drafting. I love that little median thing where like you put it in there based on your dice, and then you have to, it's better or worse. This game is a blast, and you, Dean, have to play this again. You played it late night, right? At a con or something?
Yeah, we learned it.
It could be a bit much for a late night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my wife loves this game. I love this game. It's a blast.
And they all knew the game, but they said, we can just teach you really fast. But when you get that late into the night, like they don't teach you all the rules, and so I was just kind of lost a lot of it. But
Vladimir,
I need to give this one another try. I think I probably would like it.
I think you'll really like it.
I didn't dislike it. I just didn't love it. But again,
because you kept thinking it's not as good as Castles of Burgundy. I know that's what you were doing.
Oh yeah, because it's not.
I know, and then so you're pooing on it because of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, don't compare.
I didn't say that it's as good as Castles because I don't think it is, but
everybody
still
says
a good game.
Like it's like Castles, and when you say that to one of my favorite games, there's going to be
you hate it.
My
I guess I don't get the same feeling of Castle of Burgundy.
I don't either.
I didn't get quite sure about that, but
I've heard people say it, but I don't feel like that at all.
It is beautiful though. It's those translucent pieces.
I really like it. Yeah.
And there's a lot of variability. Like the tech tree changes every time. The in-game scoring changes every time. Your own personal board can change. So there's a lot of it's good.
Yeah. Somebody took amazing pictures of this game on here, by the way.
I wonder.
All right. Steph's number 4. We are still at number 4.
Number 4 is Keyper. Now, have you guys played it?
I have played Keyper, but it's been a year, 2.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
This is a pretty heavy Euro game with a really cool like mechanic where you're flipping boards to make a new board. But it's area control because once you claim an area, all the meeples on the area will be yours. So you want to keep playing to that area so you can get those meeples back for possibly more actions. But it's a weird like resource management to try and get points from buildings and all the things. I mean, so it's wonky. There's a lot of weird rules, and there's a whole flow chart on the side of the box, which is awesome because it's like, what is this? But so it's a lot to take in the first play, but it's so rewarding and wonderful.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. How do you like it compared to Keyflower? I know.
No, the Keyper is by far my favorite key game.
Wow, really?
By far.
Yeah. Wow, you really like? Yeah, I liked it. But I like Keyflower better.
I'm a little bitter about this one because John borrowed my copy of this game so that he could learn it and teach me how to play. Because you didn't love it, then you didn't want to teach me how to play it.
Well, I mean, that's not true. I would easily teach you how to play it. We just play lots of games.
That is true. That's true.
Yeah, but
this one's staying on my shelf of shame right now, though.
You got to play it.
I would probably have to relearn a lot of it because it's been such a long time.
Yeah, the rules, it's a lot, but it's not so bad once you kind of know all the symbols and what's going on.
I was a little disappointed on the flip board. Like I thought it was cool, but it wasn't as cool as I was hoping it would be.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's still good. I mean, it was a solid game. I gave it a pretty good score. So
there's a bunch of stuff in this box. I will say that
there's a lot of stuff. And there's an expansion coming out, which is amazing, which I played prototype a few times.
Oh, nice. That's exciting.
Makes it like even more deep, if that's possible. Yes.
That's good.
I'm pumped to try this one. All right. My number 4 is a cooperative game that is one that I hadn't played this until the app came out. We got a review copy of that. And actually, we just released a video today, whenever we're recording this, of the base game, and I really love this game, but I stayed away from it for a long time because heavy cooperative is something that's like doesn't really
suspension.
You haven't said the name yet. You know that, right?
Oh gosh.
I was thinking that.
What is it, everyone? Spirit Island.
Yeah.
Everyone can see the picture on the screen. So
Like I was. That's the reason I said.
I can't see it.
I wanted to like just see the name already. Because Dean, you hate it. I love the suspense. He hates it when I do that. He's like, dude, just say the game.
You know what's funny though is like I can't do two things at one time. Like it's just physically impossible. And so as I'm showing these pictures and talking about it,
that was unintended suspense.
nobody else is in the room.
You didn't realize that you had not said the name.
Totally unintentional. Spirit Island is the name of this one. This is like kind of reverse Puerto Rico is how I explain it. You have these colonists that are trying to take over your island and you represent the spirits of this island, and you're trying to get them to go away. And they're trying to just build up things and basically just like take over your island. And you have asymmetrical player powers. You have a really stressful game. That's exactly what this thing is. You start off and you look at the island, you're like, okay, we can do this. This is fine. We're fine. 2 rounds into this, and you're completely covered in people trying to take over your island. And you can't do much about it because you can only take, at the beginning of the game, only 1 or 2 actions a player. And so it's a pretty stressful game, but I love it.
What do you think about it, Steph? You like this one?
No.
Wow, yeah. Hey, that's good. This is what we do. Dean and I argue. So be honest. If you don't like it, be like, that game's terrible. Why is it on?
Well, I don't think it's terrible. I just, it was fine. My experience was fine. If it was in like 1/3 the time, I would have liked it a lot more. Like our game lasted like forever and a day. I'm like, this is just like, oh my God.
Yeah, I really like this one, but my biggest knock for me is I don't know how often I can get that to the table, because unless I'm playing with gamers, and
it could be solo also. I don't know if you solo.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you played the solo game.
I have played it. Yeah, I mean, it plays just like you're playing with 2 players is the way I did. So
I mean, it might be better with 2 players. I should give it another shot with 2 players. I might like it better.
It didn't take that long for us to play with 2 players, did it?
No. Well, the thing is,
because we lose early.
But you lose.
Game,
Okay.
You can play this game for 30 minutes and lose, or you can play it for probably 2 hours, I would say.
Did it take us 2 hours?
Well,
I was thinking
the first game, yes. The first game that we played that we won, it took us 2 hours. And then we eventually got quicker, but I don't think it wasn't under an hour and a half, I don't think. I think that's probably about right.
How many players?
2 players.
2.
Yeah.
My 4-player game took 4 hours.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, it was rough. It was really rough. One person was teaching 3 of us that he knew it very well, and it was a fine experience with the friends I was playing with, but it just was like too long.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to play this with a higher player count. Now, I don't think you really miss much from just playing 2 players because it scales really well. So
that's what I'm thinking. So maybe I should give it another shot.
We'll bring this one next time we can actually see you and play games with you.
It was even though I knew it was heavy, it was heavier than I expected. Like there was a lot going on because you're having to think ahead while you got your cards.
And I generally like that a lot. So
yeah.
This is that to the max for sure. So that's my number 4. I'll say it again, Spirit Island.
Yeah. All right. So my number 3, I don't know if you'll like this one if you don't like race games. Rajas of the Ganges. I really like this game. I played it with my buddy Jonathan. He said, all right, I'm going to teach you a game and you're going to want to buy it as soon as I teach it to you. It's literally the words out of his mouth, and he was 100% right. You got all these dice, and you got to do a worker placement with dice, which is really, really fun. I just taught this to Dean. But what I like sometimes I like race games and sometimes I don't. And generally I do though. But I love the mechanism of you have this income track and you have this prestige or whatever it's called, and you're trying to cross. And when the first one to cross wins, but with the income, you have to spend income so you can go backwards. And is it worth the money? And you're trying to figure out the most efficient move constantly in the game. And there's a little bit of engine building with the scoring on your buildings. You have a little tile placement. I really like this game a lot. And what did you think since you just relatively recently tried it?
This may or may not be on my list.
Oh, so yeah.
May or may not be.
Dang, he might like it.
Yeah, I really, I love this game. Inca and Marcus Brand, some of my favorite game designers anyway. I don't know what it is, but they just make games that click with me. The racing around different sides of the track is what got me, especially because that top part of the track goes faster than the other part does. And I think that's really interesting because there is a period of time, you're building up to being able to move faster on that side than you are on the other side. So I think for me, that's interesting.
Yeah.
The negative, even though I really like this, number 3 is someone can pretty much whip somebody. Like remember the game that we played and you just had me whipped, and it was really hard to come back.
It is true. Yeah, that's
a
true.
challenge with a lot of race games.
Sometimes though, you don't know until a little bit later in the game, and then once you figure that out, the game's only a little bit. It's not too much longer after that. It seems like. But,
I mean, I actually like this one. I don't really think of it as much of a race game as like dice / manipulation worker placement kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it is technically a race game. You're right. But so it falls like in the 7 out of 10 range. I really like it. I still own it. I have all the expansions, all the stuff, and it's a game I'll play probably infrequently, but one I will still want to try and play like every year or something.
Yep. It's good.
It's good.
Excellent pick.
Number
I
3.
think. All right, Steph, you're number 3.
My number 3 is Codenames Duet.
Codenames Duet.
Yes.
So good. It's so much better than Codenames, and I love Codenames.
Whoa.
But Codenames Duet is where it's at.
I do not disagree with that at all. And I love Codenames. I really enjoy Codenames a lot.
I only played this once, and the guy that I was playing it with, we can read each other's minds. So we loved it. It was a blast. Like it was so easy to win.
I
My
still
wife and I
haven't beaten all of the levels.
Yeah,
have you seen the map in there of all the different levels?
Yeah,
I'm like, I can't.
all those.
Yeah. Well, the one that you can read his mind, you should play.
I know.
You can beat them all.
I don't know why
it's really hard.
Yeah, we hardly missed any. It was just weird. It was creepy weird, actually.
I think I like it so much because it's co-op.
Yeah.
And you're trying to do the same board with different clues. You don't want to hit that assassin. He has 3 assassins, blah, blah, blah. It's just,
That's super interesting. When we first got this, it was my wife and I playing, and I was looking at the cards and I was like, how does this even work? Like, how is this a cooperative game where we're not going to know exactly what's going on, but just the way those cards are made, it's unique. I like it a lot.
This could be higher if I'd played it more.
Yeah.
I've had one lengthy experience and that was it.
Yeah. And so I played it a crap ton, and it's just, the more you play something, I think the more you kind of like it, and it sits with you. And so.
Yeah, it's good.
Pretty high.
It's solid.
Excellent. Codenames Duet. I just realized I was going to make a joke about Keyper. Like, was that game a Keyper? And then I totally forgot.
Everybody always says that to me. Is it a Keyper? I'm like, yes.
Yeah. I was going to use it on Codenames Duet, but then it didn't quite work.
I was going to use that a joke, but then I thought that joke is lame.
Yeah. That's fair.
All right. A game that is not lame is my number 3.
Hold up a second. Is this my number?
This is also John's number 2.
So we can just talk about it.
So we can both talk about it. So
that worked out.
Clans of Caledonia.
Oh.
This is a game that often gets compared to Terra Mystica. It is not Terra Mystica in my mind, but this game it's engine building. The similarities with Terra Mystica is that you're pulling off your pieces from your player board. They go out to the main board, but as they come off your board, you're going to be getting bonuses and things like that. There's some other comparisons too, but this is at the heart kind of a economic game, and you're engine building, you're fulfilling orders. I like it. I like this.
And I like the way the market works in the game a lot. I really like this game. This is just a good, solid, like you said, economic engine building, fun game. I love this game. That's why it's number 2. So number 2 for me, number 3 for you.
Yeah, and both of us, we hadn't played it until this year for the first time. So,
and it shot way up high for us.
What you think, Steph?
And that's why you do at the end of the year games you've played throughout the year that are
good.
Then you could add it to the list.
Add it to the list. Is this your jam or not your jam?
Oh, I like it.
Yep.
I don't own it, and I don't think I need to own it. Like, I wouldn't request it. Let's just say that. But I don't mind playing it.
Yeah.
It's solid, like you say. There's nothing wrong with it.
I did not have high expectations for this game when I played it.
I think that's what made us like it.
Probably.
That could very well be
we
the
just played
case.
it. We're like, whoa, this is good. Yeah.
And I think I had the expectations. It's Terra Mystica.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's not in a good way. And I like Terra Mystica, like I said, but I prefer this game to that. But I don't think I need to really compare them. So
speaking of Clans of Caledonia and Terra Mystica, what's your number 2?
Yes, my number 2 is Gaia Project.
How about that?
Which, is a little bit better. It's way better than Clans of Caledonia. That's for sure.
All right, so I can't. If I had I've never played this. If I had a number 1 game of 2017 that I haven't played that I want to play, this is it. So
Yes.
I really want to play this. I've just never played it.
When it
I'll
came
agree with
out, I
that.
played it a bunch, and then I just didn't play it for a few years, or like 2019. I didn't play it at all. And now with the COVID and everything, we're playing a bunch of games online, and so it's on Tabletop Simulator. I've been playing it, I think, 3 times this year so far, and it's been so good. It's a huge space game. You're trying to like expand your like different federations and go up the different tech tracks and get different technologies and do all the things. And it has the same like Terra Mystica like manipulation of power. If somebody builds close to you, you can get some power, and there's power bonuses you can buy. Like, and so it's very relatable to Terra Mystica. But what's different is like the technology tracks. It's not really the temple tracks that you have in Terra. They're different, and they'll always be changing with different goals at the top. And there's a lot of different things happening in a very similar feeling, but it's easier to move around the board because it's space. And so it takes away that like stress of, not getting the area in Terra Mystica that you need in order to branch out further. So this definitely bypasses Terra Mystica for me as well.
Is it as heavy as Terra Mystica, or heavier maybe, do you think? I really love Terra Mystica a lot, but it's on that end of, this is probably like, I don't want to play it all the time, but Gaia Project, it intrigues me more.
I guess it's a little bit heavier, but it's not like, I directly compare the two, but it probably is a little bit more heavy because there's like, there's end goals in Terra Mystica too. So there's a lot of things to be thinking about at any given time. So,
Does this kill Terra Mystica for you? Would you always
yeah, I think so. I think I will always choose to play it. And it's kind of unfortunate because I'm not really a space theme kind of person. I'm more of a fantasy theme kind of person, but the overall game of Gaia Project just works a lot better.
I like a nice space theme, but I like fantasy as well. Yeah, I want to play this one so bad.
The space theme in this, I'm drawn more to the space theme. Part of that is the components too. I guess I'm more drawn to the components and the look of this game. I'm a shallow gamer, I'm telling you.
Yeah, me too.
I really want to try this one. So Gaia Project is your number 2, which brings me to my number 2. We've already talked about this.
Rajas,
is that how you say it?
I don't know. Rajas. I don't know what I said.
We don't have to go into this anymore, but I really like this game a lot. I don't own this one, John does, but I feel the need to own this game.
You need to.
I need to.
Because I think your wife will like this game. And she loves Village. And I know it's
beautiful.
It is.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
That's in Slowhausen, isn't it?
Yep, it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Great.
So that's my number 2. Now on to
my number 1. Oh,
one.
Here we go. Talking of games that kill other games, which people will totally disagree with me on this left and right. Altiplano is better than Corleone and totally destroyed it. I don't even care to play. Well, I know no one agrees with me.
It hurts.
I know no one agrees with me. What did I do? We did a
people
poll.
agree with you. There's lots of people.
No. We did a poll, Dean, and I think 20-something% said they prefer Altiplano over Corleone.
Right. So there's a couple people.
There's a few people out in the world that agree with me. Hey, this is one that I don't own that he owns, but I've played more than he has because I've just borrowed it multiple times and played the crud out of it whenever I borrow it. Altiplano, bag building. I love how you have to go around and do your little guy and send him out. You have to think. You have to plan ahead in this one. You got to make sure you got him in the right spot for the next round. You can't just place him wherever. Oh my gosh, you're buying and selling goods and you're filling your warehouse. And I feel so fulfilled when I go, look at how beautiful my warehouse. I'm scoring all these points. Yeah.
It is good. It's really good. I love this game a lot, but it's not as good as Corleone's.
No.
Yeah. I played Corleone with, well, what's the one that everyone always plays it with? What's the
Invasion? It's so good.
Yeah, I haven't played.
No, Trade and Intrigue is
what I'm thinking of, but I haven't played.
No.
I haven't played
Invasion's where it's at. That's the cooperative, really difficult.
My wife hates cooperative.
You like the co-op version, then? You like?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, I've not played that way.
So do you not like this game?
Altiplano?
Yeah, or do you just think it's okay?
I played it twice. I don't need to play it again.
That's the first time I played it, we played it together. I was like, I really like this. It's not as good as Corleone, but I really like this. And the more I played it, I'm like, oh yeah. And then you get the Traveler expansion, which adds a little bit more to it. Oh yeah, this is.
Had this come out
Daddy
first and there was no expansion to Corleone, I might have different feelings about it. But
dude, it eliminates that stupid luck. Like you have to go through all your chips. That's one of the best things about this game.
that is a positive. Yeah, it's a positive. But I don't mind it in Orleans because you can always. There's a strategy of putting your chips. I know this isn't what we're talking about, but you can put your chips out on the board and leave them there so that you can get the things that you need out of your bag. So
I know. I like Corleone, but I would rather play this every time now. Anyone out there, I say this every time. You want to trade Corleone with Trade and Intrigue for Altiplano, just hit me up. Comment down below.
Boo. Just
Boo.
My wife likes this one better too, actually, which I'm shocked.
I mean, the art is much better. It's very cute.
The art is nice. Yeah.
All right. Number 1 from Steph. What you got?
Which I learned last year, Seventh Continent.
That's probably my number 2 game that I wish I would have played that I haven't.
Good.
Yeah, I've not played this one either, but I really, really want to.
It's a beast. There's a lot going on, but the actual mechanics of the game are very easy. But
really,
to do what you need to do is very hard because you don't really know what you need to do until you do, but you don't know.
So you're like exploring to figure out what you need to do. It's
all exploring, and you have to survive. Every time, like, you need to move somewhere, you draw cards off the deck, and you might get to keep one or something. And then, but if that card deck ever runs out, you die. So you need to, like, go hunting for food, which you'll take your discards, shuffle them up, and add some back if you can find something to kill. And then, so you're trying to manage your card stack, which is your life.
Is this a tough game to teach?
No, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Do you solo this one, or do you play?
I don't. It's 2-player.
Okay.
So
because people love this solo, from what I hear.
Yeah, it could be very good. It's good. So, like, if you ever have to make a check, you need some number of stars, and you have to pull those cards off the top of the deck. It'd be like, well, you can pull 1+ cards, so your better chance of getting 1 star is on like 2 cards. You'll even better chance to pull 3 cards. But again, that's your life. So every time you pull cards looking for these stars, you're like using your life. So it's like a push your luck, kind of like, we can do it. Or if we die, we're going to lose 6 cards off the top of the deck. You're like,
Yikes. I bet you really want to play this one, Dean. This seems like
it's kind of intimidating,
up your
though.
alley.
Now they did come out with a cheaper, like, smaller version, because when you look at the base game of this with or the Kickstarter stuff with everything, you're looking at, I mean, what, hundreds of hours of playing this game or something like that. Like,
oh yeah.
It's a beast. And so kind of like in the Gloomhaven, that range. So that's been intimidating, but that smaller box version that came out is kind of like a taster from what I can gather. Seems like that might be the way for me to dip my toes in this game. Because I'd probably
maybe. I just you're gonna want it all.
You're gonna love it and be like, dang it.
That's a lot of money.
I got my toes in the ocean.
I know, I understand that totally. I went in blind, and somebody was selling it at whatever con I went to last, or a year ago or whatever. And I just spent a ton of money. I got there, they didn't do anything with it. It was all new, and so I'm like, it was cheaper than the Kickstarter price. I'm like, all right, sure.
You're doing it.
Yeah.
How many games do you buy? You buy a lot of game at cons, don't you? And trade.
I do a lot of trades and sales, and I do a lot of that, wheeling and dealing. But that was one of them, and it's awesome.
I gotta try this one out.
You definitely should try it.
This would be good. All right, my number 1 is a game that I knew.
I don't even know what it is.
From my favorite designer.
Oh, I know what it is.
Eric Lang is my favorite board game designer. This is The Godfather, Corleone's Empire. You like that, John?
I've booed it. I've never even played this game.
I haven't played it, so
I may love it. I have no idea. I'm just messing with you because you booed Altiplano being better.
That is true. That is true. Okay, so this game, it is pretty basic worker placement. The difference is, so you have different types of workers. You have some that have round bases, and those round bases go in between spaces. And so, like, you might place that worker there and get the benefits of shaking down the back of the business of like 3 or 4 different locations. Then you have these other thugs that have square bases. You place them in single locations. They shake down the front of the business and get the bonuses that way. And there is a lot, as you can imagine, in a Godfather game, a lot of player interaction in this. It's Euro. It's very Eric Lang, right? It's a hybrid of Euro that has a lot of interaction,
which is right up your alley.
It is, yeah. It's
there's some people that really like this game that I generally like games that they play. So this is one of those ones that I've never even desired to play, except for you and now Jonathan and some other people really like this.
I introduced this to.
I still don't want to play it that much because I've never requested it, but.
Yeah, and I think the theme, if you don't care about the theme, it probably you don't care anything about it. But even if you don't, like, the theme isn't super. The gangster theme is pretty strong in this, I guess. But like, it's not Godfather. So if you don't care anything about Godfather, you can still play this and have no idea that it's a Godfather game. I've played this with people who are not gamers that could not, some that love the theme, some that could care less about it, and they loved it. I mean, all of them loved it. We played it like, I think 4 times in a row or 3 times.
I guess I have to play this with you so I can, if it's not good, I can just boo you for real.
Yeah,
if it is
you
good,
can.
then...
I think you'll like this one, but I don't know if you're going to love this one, John, because that player interaction strong. Like, you're taking out other players, and there's area control in this. And so when you take out other players' characters,
I don't mind player interaction if it's like that's the game. Like,
right.
I like Blood Rage.
Game on then, yeah.
I mean,
you might
if you
like
want
this.
to attack me, then I'll kill you.
That's true. You might like this one a lot then. Who knows? It's my number 1 game, so
I may not like it at all.
Apparently, I love it. Pretty high, but I don't care. I like.
You like that painted mini right there.
I do. I do. They're not painted minis though. All right, so that is our top 5 games of 2017. Steph, remind everyone how they can get in touch with you.
PUNKIN 312 Pumpkin 312 is my handle most places. Instagram, you'll see lots of lovely pictures. All the Meeples of the Rainbow is my blog. You can search it, or it's on BGG. And I post Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
There you go.
And play a lot of games.
All the
is
games.
Absolutely true. We really appreciate you coming on here with us, Steph, and giving us your top 5. We're actually, John and I are doing our top 10. We didn't want to subject you to all this nonsense for even longer. So we're gonna be posting our 6 through 10 of this video, and then we're gonna continue on this series. We're gonna go through obviously 2016 next, and we're gonna try to get more and more people to join us in this nonsense. So thank you so much for joining us, Steph. John, tell people how they get in touch with us.
MeepleTownGames.com. You can subscribe to our channel if you're enjoying our channel. We're at MeepleTown Games on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we're Board Game Geek Guild 3407.
Thanks for coming down to MeepleTown. Thanks for joining us, and be sure to follow us on Twitter at MeepleTown Games, and connect with us on the MeepleTown Guild, Guild number 3407, at BoardGameGeek.com, and also subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel. And until next time, thanks for coming down to MeepleTown.